Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Zero Gravity Gaming IBS League. We're back and I'm so excited. It's week 1. We got a great matchup for you guys today, and we got Subversive Gaming taking on Quake as the first matchup of the new year. I'm Rye Chains and I'm joined by Michael. And are you as hyped as I am right now?
I'm so hyped. I'm really excited to get back into this and to see two new teams that we have not seen before.
Yeah, these are two teams we hadn't really seen them before. They weren't here last year. But they are looking like a pretty solid roster coming out for both of them. These guys were both ranked pretty high up on the preseason ranking list. So I don't know. I know you guys saw that earlier on Silver Scraps, but this should be a good, solid matchup. And we're going to see some good quality League of Legends coming out here today.
I especially want to highlight the top lane matchup as we get into this. We can't see our rosters up on screen yet, but we got Roland and Captain Ryu going in, and supposedly they're two very strong top laners. So we want to see what they can do. We'll be getting into draft shortly, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be coming up here pretty soon. We're getting ready checks in there, and just as we start off here, is there anything that you are thinking of we're going to be seeing already right off the bat just from this first draft?
I think something we should definitely be looking for is a Lux ban coming out from Subversive Gaming. And you know what? It's our first ban, because if we look over on the side of Quake, Phoenix, their mid laner, has played 644 games of Lux last season. And that's a lot, just even of League in general, but to have that on one champion, so it's a good idea for them to get that out early. And then we see them followed up with a Swain ban and Arc respond with a Caitlyn and Thresh ban.
Yeah, and I think these next couple bands coming out are pretty good. I think Swain is one of those flex picks you can take into 3 different roles, honestly. You can take it into support, you can take it into actual carry in the bottom lane, and you can even take it mid here. And with that Aurelia as the final ban out, Subversive going to go for this first pick, a Moo for Rhymes.
Yeah, we've seen Mumu be strong since preseason initially dropped. It's just these tanks, and he especially synergizes with that Sunfire item so well. He just is a hassle to deal with. And then we see Arc respond by picking Jhin. And already, even though this is lane dominant, it puts up question marks as to how they're going to deal with this Mumu.
Yeah, and this Jhin Leona is a very strong lane, like you were saying, super dominant, a lot of kill pressure, especially with this Leona, just a champion that can get in there right onto your back line, especially if you're going to pick this Jinx. Jinx is a champion that doesn't have too much mobility aside from, get hyper once she gets an assist or a kill. So I think it's very, very dangerous picking this Jinx into the Leona Jhin.
Yeah, but we know it to be one of Snowy Faye's better picks. We've seen a lot, or we know that they play a lot of Jinx, and they're pretty good at it. So it came as a surprise to people in our chat that they actually banned away the Caitlyn. But we do see that Jinx picked instead and paired up with the Rel. And we see Arc finished out their pick rotation with the Vi.
And what do you think about this Rel pick? I know it's been seeing play in the LCS and a lot of, ranked solo queue and stuff like that. But what do you think about it?
I'm not all too convinced by it. I'm still not sure in the games I've watched what place it holds. It's a very good at counter engaging, but I feel that a lot of supports don't actually know how to accurately play the pick, and this even goes to the professional level. I feel there's a lot that's left unknown about the champion, but it's through time and through play that we will see people get better at Rel, and I think that especially into Leona, she should have her spot, and we see already 4 more bans coming out, and then the Veigar picked for Arc Quake.
Yeah, both teams opting to go for this jungle and bot lane in the first, 3 picks of their team. So pretty easy bans coming out. Solo laners going to be Galio and Set for Subversive, and Arc's going to respond with the TF Yorick bans coming out there. And like you said, this Veigar first rotation is a pretty interesting pick coming out. Arcquake, Veigar is one of those champions that is known to, be able to just one-shot anyone if he's able to scale up and get his items.
And we do see Subversive locking the Ornn and Orianna, and we see that quickly matched by the Volibear. So again, if we take a look and bring this to the top lane, we're seeing an Ornn and Volibear going against each other from these 2 players, Roland and Captain Ryu. So this isn't what we're really expecting of these 2 hard-hitting top laners, but what do you take of the matchup?
I think it'll still be all right. Right now, I think top lane is such a pivotal role because just the fact that all these tank items are really strong, you get a lot of value coming out from them. So I think either way, it'll be a good matchup. I think Volley and Ornn are both pretty solid picks. Ornn obviously able to upgrade the mythic items once he gets to, I believe, level 14. He's able to
13
upgrade.
his, 14 others.
Okay, yeah. So 13 his, 14 others. Definitely a lot of value coming out from those upgrades, and we'll see if um if Subversive is able to, scale up. It looks like with this Jinx that they want to run it here. They want to run they have a little bit of a team fight synergy coming out with this Orianna, Amumu, Shockwave into Bandage Toss, and then Amumu ulti coming out there. So a bit scary coming out when this team fight rolls around in the late game.
Yeah, and then we also have to pay attention to, I mean, just the overall scaling of the Subversive side. They have Jinx, Orianna, and Ornn. They are completely fine with sitting back and waiting for the game to progress and just scaling, getting those items. And yet on the side of Arc, it seems a little bit harder for them to perform with the Volibear and Jhin, though they do have the Veigar, which has the infinite scaling option.
Right. Yeah, Veigar is one of those champions who, like you said, can just infinitely scale. Obviously you can stack the passive on all of your abilities. And I do think that this bot lane will be pretty volatile, though. The Jhin Leona versus the Jinx Rel matchup has, obviously anytime you have a Leona in the bot lane, it's going to be going down. They're going to be in there like swimwear, getting some kills wherever they can. And hopefully for Arc, Jhin is one of these champions who, if you give him a little bit of a lead, he gets that he gets those items coming in, and he's one-shotting your whole team. So
And I want to put a big point of pressure on 6 Max. We have them in the jungle on this Vi. I want to see them ganking early and especially putting a lot of pressure down towards this bot lane, because we know that Jinx and Rel are going to scale up and be monsters, and if Jhin falls behind, it's going to be really hard for him to hit through Amumu, Rel, and Ornn, let alone even get to the back line of Subversive.
Yeah, and another thing is, if we're talking about itemization, for Arc, the only really hard AP magic damage that they have is coming out of this Veigar, and if the Veigar falls behind, all these tanks from Subversive have to do, tanks being Amumu, Rel, or they just have to stack that armor, and Arc's not going to be able to do anything to them.
It's going to be really difficult, but then again, since it is Veigar, it kind of has that safety net of just passively getting that free AP and not having to worry about as much falling behind, because you just get that much raw gold from your passive. So at least Phoenix can rest easy in that they should still be able to be something to worry about for the side of Subversive.
Yeah, definitely. And now that we do see the team is finally locked in the actual league client, we have about 45 seconds until we're going to get into this 3-minute competitive integrity delay here. And we already talked about it a bit. How do you think that we're going to see team fights playing out for Arc Quake here?
I feel that Arc Quake is going to have, it's the precipice is on them to actually get onto Subversive. Subversive is fine with standing back, letting Jinx and Orianna zone, and just having the wall of Ornn, Amumu, and Rel. They have that dive option with the Amumu and Rel, but they don't need to. If they just are able to keep their 2 carries safe, they should be able to shred through the front line of Volibear and Leona, and somewhat Vi, and then be able to get to Veigar and Jhin. But then, as I was saying, it's on this Vi to get to that back line and to break up this line of scrimmage that Subversive is trying to set out.
Yeah, definitely. I think you make some good points there. And now we are into our 3-minute spectator delay here. And we've been off for a while. And I just want to say thank you guys all for coming back. It'll be a fun match coming out here for us today. And I'm looking forward to it. I've already said this a bunch of times, but I just want to also shout out to our production. We got some webcams going on here. You guys can see the people behind the voices. And I hope you guys enjoy. And it looks really cool from our end. It looks really cool. Hopefully you guys like it too. But anything else you want to talk about with these teams?
Something else I do want to bring up is, as I'm seeing in chat, we're seeing the question of who is Subversive's mid laner? Who is Tukamis Prime? And Tukamis Prime is very new to the team. I believe he came on yesterday. Let me fact check myself. Yeah, their mid left just last night, so Tukamis is untested in this role. And that's one of the biggest things we have to look forward to just at Subversive as a team.
Yeah, definitely a lot of new faces, like we said earlier, and it'll be interesting to see, which one of these, if any, individuals can, start off strong. We want to see these teams kind of start to get a rhythm, and it's the first week, you know what I mean? So still could be some rust, could be some kinks they got to get out. But either way, hopefully, we can get to see a standout performer coming out and just someone else to talk about, a new name per se.
Yeah, because again, this is the new. We're losing a lot of faces to gold. Like we have no more of our. I mean, no, we still have some heavy hitters, but we're losing a lot of them, and so I want to see the people that can step up and make their impact in the scene and make them a known name, a known quantity, or not so much a known quantity, but a known like scary quantity, and something that not like you know what I mean.
I got you. I got you. One last thing that I just thought about. I know you guys listened to this earlier in Silver Scraps, but they were talking a lot about these carry mid laners, carry style mid laners, champs like Yone, champs like Talon, who can, assassins like can get ahead and just basically snowball the whole game. But in this game, we're seeing control mages. What do you think? What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, yeah, I feel that this could be just part of the nerves of these guys. This could be some of their first games in a competitive environment. And so just as a team, we want to play things that are more safe and more stable and things that you don't have to try to pop off on. So they resort to these just control mages that are safer and will still impact the game even if you're not able to do the flashy plays.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I know if it was me, I'd be trying to get in there, make some flashy plays, get some clips for my first day out, but not everyone is me.
Exactly.
But we are finally now into the loading screen. We have gotten through our spectator delay here, and as we load in, we're gonna get to look at these runes and summoner spell choices coming out here. And I'll ask you in a second when we get in, anything you see that looks particularly interesting to you?
I mean, everything looks pretty standard. The something that we need to keep note of is that Vhagar went Ignite instead of the teleport, so they have that unmatched on the side of the Orianna. But something else that I'm a fan of that I don't think as many other people are a fan of is instead of taking Grasp on Ornn, I really like taking Spellbook on Ornn because at level 6, or at 6 minutes, you're able to get a solo kill when you switch to Ignite most of the time. But instead, we're going pretty standard things across the board. Dark Harvest Jhin, some people opt to go, I think, Fleet still, but I think Dark Harvest is more in favor now. But now we are into the game.
Yes, indeed. We are on to the Rift here. And give a little rundown of these teams. For our Quake in the top lane, we got Captain Ryu on the Volibear, 6 foot Max on Vi in the jungle, Phoenix on Viger in the mid lane, and then the bottom lane we got Audi and Red Nick coming out with the Jhin and Leona.
And on the other side of Subversive, we have Roll In on Ornn in that top lane. Rhymes on Amumu in the jungle, Tukamis Prime on Orianna in that mid lane, and Snowy Fane and Shadowfax on Jinx and Rel.
Yeah, and both of these teams are just going to start out, get this early line of scrimmage here, try to see what's going on, a little bit of a 5-point defense action. No one really wants to coin flip the game this early on an invade or something like that. So definitely we're just seeing a lot of patience, seeing what these guys can do, and if they can scout out any sort of vision or information.
And we see this 5-point with Orianna going into the mid lane. Amumu going into the mid lane, and the 5-point having the jungler in the mid lane. This means if they were to get spotted, we don't actually know where they're starting. But we can see that Vi has already retreated to her buff and is getting ready to start there.
Yeah, and for the most part, we're just going to see relatively slow early games here. I think Amumu might, want to get his presence into this top lane. Though I think it's going to be kind of hard for this Ornn Amumu to kill this Volibear.
Yeah, but you might be surprised as to how much damage these champions can actually put out. Early game, it might be difficult, but as soon as they both get their bombies, and obviously for Ornn, this can come a lot earlier because he could just buy that in lane. But once they get their 2 bombies, that's going to be a lot of damage coming out. And for this Volibear, he does need to be careful in these situations.
Yeah, definitely. And both junglers starting on the bottom side. So we do expect them to be around the top lane, making their presence known there in that lane in about 3 minutes, give or take a few. Noticing that 6 foot is actually going, hold on one second, as in Zenith Blade, sorry, on the Snowy. Red to go into Ignite, dropping. Heal's going to be burned out to keep Snowy alive. And this is this danger of this early level 2. And as you can see, Quake doing a great job this bottom lane, pushing in for the level 2 and getting that early engage on.
Yeah, we saw Jinx step up a little bit too far while Arc was hitting level 2. And so he got gone in on, had to burn the heal. Luckily, they were able to save the flash, so we don't have that to worry about. So they're still safe from another engage, but it's just already pressure being put down by this aggressive Jin Leo in the lane.
Yeah, and this is definitely something, with this Jinx, you really need to baby her until she can get to these items, and plays like that where Arc is just in onto her with the Leona is going to be really hard to for Rel to peel off multiple times.
Mm-hmm. And we see, as we were talking about, the other lane's just pretty stable. It's some minor trading going on in the top lane, but a lot of the focus this game has been towards the bot lane because, I mean, that's where it's the most volatile. They're trading in and out, but we have the control mages in the mid and the tanks in the top, so there's not too much to worry about there.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention is that 6 foot actually was able to secure that top crab, and as you can see now, Rhymes is just running straight down to the bot side. I think he wants to try to get this bot lane crab for him and his team. He does not want to get double crab. Double crab puts you in a really, really rough position because you're giving up all of this river vision, all of that golden experience. But that leaves roll in, vulnerable possibly for a gank if 6 foot wants to come up there.
Yeah, we see 6 foot just completing the full clear, obviously going back to his Raptors and then Krugs after the scuttle. So they could look for a top lane gank right after this, but they could also just look for the reset as they are sitting on. Oh, I forgot how to check gold.
X,
thank you. They're sitting on about 1,000 gold, so they could get items, but instead they are looking up to the top lane, or they could even just look for the invade.
Yeah, and there is no vision for Roland on this top side here. As you can see, 6 foot is going to be sitting up there pretty soon, and Roland might face check here. Going to go in, see if he can land. Knockup's going to land. Roland going to have to burn the flash right into that volley bear E. Luckily for him, his headbutt's going to get him out of there, but the flash being burned, and that's a successful gank coming out for 6 foot.
Yeah, we
now
see.
To the bottom lane we go. Hold on, as Rhymes is here. Now onto Adi they go. Adi going to have to burn the flash. Bandage toss not going to land. And the Arc bottom lane gets out, only having to burn the Jin flash.
That's still pretty impactful though. That could set them up for further repeat ganks from this Amumu. And now knowing that Vi's resetting and probably should be going to this bot side, this could be a potential 3v3 coming out in this bot lane.
Yeah, it could be the 3v3 here. This early dragon of, Vi, one of these champions that can take the early dragon solo if she is given the opportunity to. Obviously, right now, the wave state in the bottom lane is not really conducive to that, as the Arc bot lane is getting shoved in here. It's a pretty big wave coming out, about 7 minions. But I do want to highlight this CS lead so far. 5 minutes in, and Adi is doing pretty well for himself. He's up about a wave and a half. And that's really what we expected coming out from this lane, as they're able to pressure out the Jinx and Rel pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. And something interesting that I want to point out about Shadowfax is that they're sitting around in the unmounted form. They're sitting around, they have very slow move speed, but this allows them to to have that move speed to get out, obviously. But something that I like to see from Rel, as we might be setting up for a potential Vi gank here, is them to just sit in the mounted form and use it later.
Yeah, and here we go. Shadowfax is up pretty far. Zenith Blade gonna land. Now dropping it down. Shadowfax can get a 3-man on that one. Now teleport's coming in. Adi is in trouble. Bandage toss gonna land. No flash on him, and he should go down here. Rel gonna pick up that first blood, but in the top lane, Roland and Captain Ryu are fighting. Ryu gonna be able to take the win in the 1v1, and with 1-for-1 on each side, but the first blood going over to Subversive.
And this is actually huge. Even though the first blood does go over to Subversive, this is huge for Captain Rio in the top lane. Because he was able to... Roland was the first TP that was coming down towards the bot lane. Rio was able to stop that and turn it for the solo kill. Now he's 2 levels up and is in an insane spot.
Yeah, and with this dragon, the box is going to be dropped around Zenith Blade onto the backline. Oh my gosh, look at the Phoenix damage. Now Shadowfox finds himself in the 1v3, 1v5. Hello, the boys are here. Phoenix going to be able to secure a double kill for himself, and Quake's going to turn this around and get the dragon.
Yeah, Captain Rio was able to teleport down because he didn't have to match Ornn since he stopped it. And now this is an insane snowball starting for the side of Art Quake.
Yeah, already a 1.5K goal lead at 7 minutes. They have the Dragon to their names here, and Phoenix now sitting 2-0-1 is going to be a menace to try to deal with in this mid lane.
And yeah, Oriana being the recipient of nothing there, this is just a straight up like 3 KP lead. And so he's a solid 1K gold up.
Yeah, now I'd want to see what Arc can do with this lead in the mid lane. I'd like to see Phoenix able to get this prio, help out 6 Max, get some deep vision, get some counter jungling going on, and eventually make some plays with his jungler to one of these other lanes.
And something I do want to point out real quick, on the first back, Audi went for the Swifty boots into the crit cloak instead of opting for any of the other components of the Noon Quiver.
Yeah, that seems pretty odd, but he is the one in the game. We're watching from the outside. Maybe a few things going on here, but now Audi could be in trouble. He's gonna get knocked up, rooted. The clamps are coming down, and there's really nothing you can do. Don't even burn the heal. Snowy Faye is gonna secure the first kill of the game for the Jinx, and Tukamis was there just for moral support.
It's a little unfortunate for Tukamis though, in that he made the time to walk all the way down to the mid lane, and now he might have to miss minions from that wave. But now we're looking at a fight in the top lane.
Captain Rio Ornhorn's gonna be sounded. Curse of the Sad Mummy, and what can Captain Rio do with no ultimate is available? He's trying to get one back for himself, but he's not gonna be able to. And roll in, gonna get a revenge kill on his lane opponent in Captain Rio.
Yeah, like I was mentioning, once those 2 Bombing Cinders come in, that's still a lot of damage that can be put out.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing it there, and with no TP, there's a lot of minions gonna be denied for Captain Ryu. Roland obviously able to get that wave pushed in, and that's, like I said, that's about a wave or wave and a half of XP and gold coming out. That's basically just going to waste and denied.
Well, and something interesting I'm seeing is Captain Rio seems to be going for the Stride Breaker. I think that should turn into, which I think that's the more aggressive option, because I've seen a lot of Volibears go the Iceborne Gauntlet instead, or Frostfire, yeah. I think it's called now. So it's interesting but exciting to see that coming out. It could also be the Gore Drinker, but I don't know how effective that would be on Volibear in this game, especially when his position is going to be... I mean, I don't know. It definitely could be a move. I'm trying to think through it in my head, because he does want to be in the front line, but also I don't think that allows him to sustain enough. And if he goes to Stride Break, then he could just help catch out, because they do have the slight advantage right now.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but now in the mid lane, Box is gonna come down. Tukamis, a lot of damage going out, but in the bottom lane we go. Flash forward from Shadowfax, gonna burn the flash out from Audi, and this should be really all that comes out of it here. It's a flash for flash play support for AD carry, and I'd say if you're Subversive, you take that.
Yeah, you take that every day. So support flash is always worth it for the ADC flash.
And you know what? With that play, Rhyme showed on the bot side, so now it leaves 6 Max free to hit the Herald on the other side of the map here, but they're still fighting the bottom lane. Redneck stunned up, rooted up, a lot of damage coming out from him. Solar Flare is gonna miss no one. Zenith Blade gonna land onto Rhymes with the bandage toss, will secure the flash away, and Snowy is gonna secure the second kill of the game for this Jinx, and this is really not what you want to see if you're Arc.
No, this Jinx is gonna be especially scary, especially with the changes that we have coming up for the Runins now, changing it to be a much cheaper item at the loss of its AD component.
In the top lane, though, we're getting another battle here as Roland and Captain Ryu are going at it again. Good usage of the Volibear ultimate to dodge out of the Ornhorn, but Captain Ryu is not having a fun time in this 1v1.
No, it definitely gets harder, especially when Ornn is just getting tankier and tankier, and he still has the Brittle to do a lot of damage. But then again, it was a very well buffered Stormbringer? Yeah, Stormbringer to dodge the knockup from the Ornn ult.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said earlier in Champion Select, this top lane was going to be a pivotal point of this match here. And we're seeing, I mean, these guys are fighting nonstop.
Where do you think 6 foot places the Script Herald? Do you think he's just going to drop it top right here? Oh, okay. I guess that kind of answers my question.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, honestly, looks about right. Herald's going to be spawned in this top lane, going to secure some of these plates here. Potentially could have been a bit premature, as, you know, there were still about 3.5 to 4 plates on this tower, so it's not going to get the full tower. But with that being said, 6 foot showing in the top lane, this basically means a free dragon for Submersive.
Yeah, that was very quick. Good identification from Submersive to go for that instantly as soon as you see that Rift Herald dropping in the top lane. And, you know, just good response, and it doesn't seem like that was worth it enough for Arc.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get the 2 plates, sure. I mean, it's on your top laner jungler, but, you know, you're giving away an Infernal Dragon. And with that, we're going to see the Oceans onto the Rift here, and we're fighting again in the top lane. Rolling Captain Ryu. Life bar is pretty low here, but that's a lot of healing coming out from this Volibear Chomp. And Roland's going to have to kind of limp away here and recuperate his health and get these minions.
A little careful here because he definitely could fall victim to, or he didn't know that Vi was still on the side of the map, but with 6 foot Max backing off now and going back, he should be safer, but this Volibear still does a good bit of damage, especially with ult coming up soon.
Yeah. Both of these top laners ults coming up soon only leads me to think that there's got to be another play coming up here, because these guys have been using these ultimates basically on cooldown at this point. Both teleports are available for both, but still teleport advantage coming out for Subversive, as they do have that teleport in the mid lane. Maybe getting a little cheeky in the bot lane for Shadowfax, maybe trying to look for something here. Snowy's a bit far away, but I think maybe Arc is wise to this. Not anymore. Yeah, there you go.
We have the full Kraken Slayer out from Snowy too.
Yeah, already a full Kraken Slayer is going to be doing so much damage for Snowy. And then look on the other side. Look at his lane opponent. He has a pickaxe. Hold on, let's not look at his lane opponent again, because we are back in the top lane here. Ornhorn going to be sounded. Stormbringer, good job again, buffering the bandage toss and the Ornhorn this time. And you have to think that was a bit misexecuted from Subversive.
Yeah, they definitely didn't account for that. They didn't have the exact cooldown of it down, but with the Ornn ult coming up, there's similar cooldowns, so we could have saw that coming. And again, Captain Ryu pulling it off very well. He knows what he needs to do. He's absorbing a lot of pressure with that time from Rhymes up there.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing is that bandage toss was, you know, pretty much called the same exact time as the Ornhorn was called, so they didn't really layer the CCs properly, and that was another reason why Captain Ryu was able to get away.
We're starting to see, now that it's crossing the 15-minute marks, we're starting to see mythic items come in on these backs, so Volibear, Captain Ryu is still a bit off as he stopped for the null magic mantle at a point, but we're still seeing across the board these come in.
Yeah, and there's been a little bit of a lull in the action. We haven't had kills in a while, but I mean, were you expecting a game 8 kills in 15.5 minutes?
I mean, it's definitely a lot. I mean, I think this is a larger bloodbath than I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah, because with these champions, as we see, Phoenix have to flash away.
Yeah.
But with these champions, I expected just a lot more scaling. I mean, even like looking at more specifically where the kills are located, I didn't expect this Jinx to have 2 kills at this point.
I definitely didn't either. I mean, you have to think this lane is a losing lane for Subversive here, but somehow the Jinx is sitting 2-0-1 and the Jhin is sitting 0-2-0. Maybe Tigamus is in danger here.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, but actually, wait, no. Phoenix getting collapsed on here. The boys are here rolling, and Rhymes are chasing him down, but Captain Ryu is there playing bodyguard. He said, hey, don't touch my man in the mid lane. He's going to be able to get his mid laner out of there without any harm at all. And with this dragon coming up in about 50 seconds here, we want to see these teams start to look and set this objective up here. Both 1-1 in the dragon so far. And this ocean dragon, you know, you're going to get that regen. And who doesn't love a little bit of regen?
Exactly. Across the board, everything besides Phoenix's flash is up for both teams.
There you go.
And something I want to point out is we're seeing 6 foot Max now, but we haven't seen him for a bit. He's been just steadily farming for a while. He's now a solid 30 farm up on Rhymes. So he has that level advantage going into a potential smite fight for this 3rd dragon.
Yeah, and with 20 seconds left before the dragon spawns, we do see Arc coming around here. We got 4 members strong, and with the TPs in the top lane, I expect both of these top laners to wait and sort of look for this opportunity to get a little bit of a TP play coming in.
But they have to be careful because, like we saw last time, Roland got his TP canceled by Captain Rio.
And here we go. Dragon started up by Arc Quake here, and they're pulling it out, which is really smart because Amumu has to find a way to get in. With no Blast Cone available, it's at 3k health. Amumu's coming in. TP from Captain Ryu is on the way, and both of these top join the fight. Solar Flare going to land on to Tukumis, and now Curtain Call coming out. Call of the Forge God going to interrupt that, but in the back line he goes. Red team going to be able to secure that Dragon, but now a lot. Huge Shockwave coming out. Double kill for Snowy, and it is just a massive bloodbath. And Arc is not winning. Flashing forward, Cage pretty good at defending any more kills coming out for Subversive, but that's a 3-for-0 in favor of Subversive there.
This is the Jinx that's already very scary. She has her full Kraken Slayer and is 5-0. And it's not like Jinx falls off. So this is going to be scary for Arc for the rest of the game.
Yeah, this is going to be something. But on the bright side, if you're Arc, you say, okay, listen, we got the Dragon. We're 10 minutes away from a potential Ocean Soul. And it's not looking too bad, I guess, for them. Maybe if they're optimistic.
Yeah, if nothing else, you set Subversive back 5 minutes from their soul.
Yeah, exactly. And
so you take these ones.
Yeah, gold lead's only 500. But one thing that actually, never mind. It went away.
Sure, I got.
I saw something, but it's gone now, so we're all good.
I want to point out. Oh, who's that in the chat? Not Kara Na. You were correct. It is the Gore Drinker. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know. I just haven't thought about it much. Seeing this Volibear going Gore Drinker, it puts him at a less tanky standpoint, but he's still trying to survive in these fights. But if we see, I mean, we see three tanky members that could easily go Bramble Vest on the team of Arc or Subversive.
Yeah, and I mean, we're already seeing 2 Sunfire kits, but now Solar Flipping ripped over the top. Seems like going to land a good job at canceling it, but it's not enough as 6-foot Max is going to come in, get that shutdown onto Snowy, and that's a lot of gold coming out to Vi. 800 gold shutdown. But on the other side of the map, yeah. Rhymes again able to pick up this Rift Herald, or not again, sorry, but Rhymes able to pick up the Rift Herald on the other side of the map, and with 3 people strong in the bottom lane, will Arc be able to get this tower? More fighting in the top lane though, as Oranhorn is going to be called here. Stormbringer, great job buffering it again, but Roland is not going to win this one as he has to run for the hills. That is a giant bear running you down. And this tower is a few autos away from going down, and this is not where you can stand. He's standing, though. He's holding his ground. Roland, you got to run, buddy. He's going to go down, too, as well as his tower in the top lane. And Captain Ryu showing his muscles, flexing up on him. He said, don't stand a tower.
I mean, this is something I was pointing out in the loading screen, but we have this Vi. Her job is to get onto this Jinx and shut her down, and that's just what happened in that bot lane. That's why the tower was actually ended up falling, and that's why Arc is up 2 towers now, even though it was looking gloomy. They're up 2k gold, 2 towers. Not looking too bad, even though that Jinx still is a threat.
Yeah, and the gold lead is 2k, and I want to highlight this. This is something you don't really see too much. Look at this control vision, the vision control in the bottom side river for Arc. I mean, you saw that there were 3 control wards in this bottom side river. Obviously, Shadow was able to go and take one down right there. But this Dragon Pit and the River Bush walking in the bottom lane both have pink wards in there. And that is a lot of vision control for this team. And obviously, that was what helped them, secure the second dragon for themselves.
Exactly. And we see Volibear will have teleport up for this next dragon. So it's okay that he's chilling up there in the top side. But he can get more pressure, even start pressuring the second tier turret if Subversive want to go into here now.
Yeah, and with this dragon coming up in 1 minute, we see all 5 members of Subversive down in this bottom lane river. You're going to try to get this mid prio coming out and try to get inside track on this dragon. We see the Herald is going to be spawned right there to try to draw some members of Arc and to defend their mid lane towers, but this outer mid tower is going to go down. Shelly's going to get the charge off, and Subversive gonna get one tower back for themselves here. Unfortunately
Good.
for them, Arc is able to stop the second charge. But look at the side lanes for
Oh,
Arc right now.
that's
Both
really
side lanes,
big for Arc.
both side lanes being shoved into this inner tower and even having to force out the rolling teleport. And this gives Arc a huge TP advantage coming for this next dragon.
Phoenix may be stepping up a little bit too far. He's staying in the area, but it looks like correctly identifies and starts backing off. He has Leona and Vi in the area if need be also.
Yeah, he threw up that thumbs up. He's like, hey, I see you coming in. We all good. Don't even worry. And now with this blast cone taken out, I would like to see Arc onto the dragon again. This is pretty dangerous. I think you might want to pull this out. Don't even go for the 50-50. Ram's going to go in. Solo Thug over the top. And he's not going to be able to secure that dragon. The fingers are too fast from 6 foot max. And he's going to be able to secure the third dragon for his team, putting them at 5 minutes away from a potential Ocean Soul. And with the jungler dead, Arc may be looking at Baron. They're all walking up there, but I think they're not going to go for it. I think it's a pretty crazy call.
Something that was really good by Subversive is that they did identify that they needed to just try to steal it. They knew with that they were down TP. Captain Ryu teleported in, but it ended up not meaning anything because they just went for the steal. So even though Rhymes did end up falling and just dying for nothing, it was still the best attempt that they could have thrown out at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a play where really you can't fight it. You're down on numbers. You just have to really go in for the steal. You say, all right, my man, Mummy, get in there. Good luck. Hopefully you win the smite fight. And unfortunately for him, he did not. And now it's a pretty dangerous spot for Subversive. They need to 100% contest this next dragon. Otherwise, this Ocean Soul is going to be very, very helpful for Arc in the rest of the game.
Yeah, if you are Subversive in this situation, that's definitely what you're looking forward to. You can try to keep some vision in the area for in case Arc decides to go for a Baron, but most likely they're just going to try and secure that soul because that's just the safer path to victory. And again, like we're looking at these two new teams, they want to make a good statement in this first week of competition.
Wait a minute, this looks pretty scary. Here's Audi gonna have to burn the flash and the gear for us to get away. Flash forward, solar flare onto the top, onto the back, and now the Ornhorn's calling out. Curtain call and Ornhorn. Ornhorn! The Ornn is not able to get the second charge off. Phoenix is gonna go on a rampage, taking down Tukamis, and it's a 1-for-0 in favor of Arc so far. What else can they do? Low health bars on Snowy, and this is going to deter Arc from really. I mean, it's gonna deter Submersive from doing much else. And defending, they just have to clear the waves, and this is potentially, this could be a Baron if they opt to look for it. I think they actually do have the damage. I mean, with low health bars on basically the main carry for Subversive, it could have been the angle, but instead they just look to get these waves, get top wave pushed in, try to get that inner tower, and maybe look to see if they can catch out Arc in an overextension mid. But wait a minute, a Shadow's gonna walk into the box. He's gonna get destroyed by this Viger damage. Now we're really seeing what Phoenix can do on this champion.
Yeah, Phoenix, I mean, playing the Lux and playing the Veigar, they have similar purposes in that they want to try to deny area with both that Luxie and the Veigar E. So just denying area and then popping once you do get your 1cc, that's what Phoenix knows, and that's what Phoenix is accurately bringing over into this other champion that they might be a bit more uncomfortable on.
Yeah, and this is like really scary, I think, for Subversive walking up like this. All 6 has to do is just run around and press R on the Jinx, and like they get slaughtered in this team fight. So this is like a really crazy overextend for me.
I think Snowy Faye definitely needs to at least go get the red so you heal up to full health, because right now Snowy's sitting on 0 to or low to none. Low to 0, yeah, 0 lifesteal or anything. So they're not getting healthier.
Yeah, and it just seems like a very interesting play. Curtain call over the top, going to shoot out some shots here. Zenith Blade's going to land. Ornhorn's calling out Solar Flare. Finds Snowy. Can they find the kill onto him? No, not yet. But now Amumu Curse Mummy is there. Assault and Battery onto the Vi, and Vi should be going down pretty soon. Yes, the Locket is not enough to shield it out, but now Phoenix is doing a lot of damage on the backline. Flash is not enough to get Shadow away, and Arc runs over the fight in a 3-4-2 fashion, and now with Rhymes the only one left in this mid lane, he's going to have to run for the hills, and he's going to have to sack some mid lane towers.
Yeah, even though it was a good attempt to halt that Vi, when you get unstoppable from that assault and battery, there's nothing you can do to protect that Jinx. But if Jinx had stopped and either backed or went for that red, then I believe they would have had enough health to survive.
Yeah, this is scary here. Captain Ryu gonna pop the Stormbringer onto Tugamus, dropping down the lightning from the heavens, see if he can kill. But no, the bandage toss is going to stop him from getting that kill. But now Rhymes is looking at him. Curse of the Saddam is not available, but the Mega Death Rocket's gonna hit for a lot of damage, and this percent max health damage is burning him down. Mummy 1, Bear 0, and he's gonna be able to secure that kill for his team.
And most of the time, we see one over Ascension matched by another, and that's just what Captain Ryu did. It was very close. Honestly, he got the second tower, but it was very close. It was just unfortunate timing that off the respawns, off the resets, Rhymes was able to get back there.
Yeah, and we didn't mention this earlier, but now this Ocean Dragon is up, a potential Ocean Soul for Arc, and they're right away starting a TP coming in from Ornn. A box, really good job stunning 2 members. Roland is here. Ornhorn is not yet available. In a few seconds, it will be. But Rednick is in trouble, finds himself in the middle. Solar Flare is going to land stun onto 2, and he's going to go down to Tukamus. Now, Amumu going to be able to secure that dragon, and the fight ensuing does not look too good, but now Shockwave going to land onto Adi. He has to run for the hills. The Ornhorn is available now. Telbo coming in from Captain Ryu. 3-man knockup. Captain Ryu onto Tukamus, going to take him down, and now Roland finds himself in a rough situation. Going to have to burn the flash to get out. And that's a 3-for-1 in favor of Arc, but Subversive able to deny the Ocean Soul for another 5 minutes. And this, although they denied the Ocean Soul, it looks like they might have to give away the Baron here as Arc makes their way up to this Baron, and this should be a relatively easy take.
Yeah, but what you're looking in there, if you are in this point of Subversive, what you're looking in there, that's probably your best case scenario. You get the Ocean Soul away, and that's gonna last the whole game, because with Jinx and Orianna, you should be able to wave clear pretty handily against these. You might have to lose the rest of your inner towers. I mean, I guess that's only... Oh, that's mid and bot at this point.
Mid and bot.
But you should be able to wave clear enough so that you don't have to lose an inhibitor with Jinx and Orianna. And luckily, Baron wears off while as Ocean Soul does not.
Yeah, that is very true. It's definitely good to deny that Ocean Soul or Dragon Soul whenever you can. But I do want to highlight, we have seen the first Ornn upgrade come out, the Wormfallen Sacrifice for the Jinx. And that's going to upgrade that Kraken Slayer, give her a little bit extra damage, and hopefully give her what she needs to carry Subversive through these team fights, but it hasn't been enough so far.
I'm curious as to how the interaction with Quicksilver and Visalt works now, because I knew you used to be able to QSS and then flash. You couldn't walk away, but from knockups you could QSS and then use the movement ability to get out of that. But it says excluding airborne now, so I don't even know if the QSS will save Snowy from that, from the Vial.
Yeah, and Vi is one of those ultis where if you're an AD carry, you just you're not down. But one thing I'm noticing is, look at the side lanes. Look at top and bot lane right now for Arc. They haven't pushed into the inhib towers, and what is Subversive doing? They're just A-ramming at mid lane. Now 6 foot Max gonna go forward. Tugamus gonna get assaulted, battery on, gonna go golden under the tower, and a interesting flash from 6 foot is gonna drop that aggro, but Tugamus took a lot of damage there, and now the boys are pulling up into the bottom lane, but 6 foot is wise to it. He knows he's not gonna get picked off here. And Roland is just going to have to watch as Captain Ryu smacks down his inhibitor. There's nothing really that he can do anymore at this point. He's free hitting him and he's still not doing any damage. But now storming over the top, going to try to take down Tukamus. Call of the Forge God is going to stop that for the time being, but now the boys have come. Captain Ryu in the 1v4, not even going to be able to take the inhib. And he's going to go down, unfortunately. Maybe greeted a bit for that kill. Could have just autoed the inhib a few more times and it would have been good. But 6 foot, oh my gosh. Going to get jumped in on. Bandage Toss going to land. The zap from Snowy. Ultimate from Rel. And it's a lot of CC, but what can he do? Do they have the damage? Now Snowy's going to hit. And they do have the damage when Snowy is there. But not with the Relamumu, that's for sure.
Yeah, when Vi is stuck in place for 6 seconds, I'm pretty sure they'll eventually have damage. Especially with Snowy being able to show up at the end.
Rednick was doing a pretty good job at zoning off Snowy from that fight. Leona always has kill pressure on your AD carry. Uh, that's just how the champion works. Uh, Good support champion, by the way. Um, but yeah, Rednick able to zone out Snowy from that fight, not able to hit. Try to save his jungler for a little bit, but it was just not enough. And unfortunately for 6 foot, Rednick had to just dip out. And another Ornn upgrade has come through for Tukamis. The Eye of Luden, gonna upgrade that Luden's Echo for more of this magic damage. And I'm still waiting to see a really, really solid team fight from Subversive where they get this bandage toss in, Shockwave, Curse of the Sad Mummy, Horn. They utilize all their ultimates in the way that, I think this comp was drafted for.
Exactly. They're doing what they have to, and now we're seeing this dragon coming up in 25 seconds. We're seeing Volibear going to that top side again. He has TP, but he will pressure this inhibitor and even the base.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for the past 10 minutes of the game here. No one has been able to, no one can stand up to him in this 1v1, at least for now. And with all these members in this bot lane river here, we're gonna 100% see a fight coming out here. Shadowfax is just in the pit. Cut. I thought there may have been a pick potential there, but it's a 5v4 so far. And I think that Arc just wants to kind of wait out. They have, Subversive on a timer with this Volibear pushing in the top lane, and now the Ornhorn's going to be called. Good job blocking out the rel engage with the box, and now Bandage Toss going to land on the 6 foot. Curse of the Sad Mummy is not available yet, but Volibear in the backline. Stormbringer going to have to burn the flash out of Snow Fae, and they are running down the backline. Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to hit, and the rel ultimate is huge onto 4 members, but he is still diving into the backline. Shadow is angry, going to take down Adi. On the other side of the fight, though, 6 foot is on the back lines, and it's still a 4v3 in favor of Arc. Now Rhymes and Roland on the top side. Roland gonna get stunned up, but on the other side, a Zenith Blade from downtown from Rednick is gonna be able to take down Tukamis, and this should be the game here. 40-second death timers coming out. It is Rhymes versus the world. And this fat mid-wave coming in already. 2 supers to its name. Onto the Nexus Towers they go. Arc is going to try to finish it here. Rhymes can do nothing but watch. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is not available. Zenith Blade and go on him. The box is going to go under the tower. He goes, but even the tower cannot save him. And both Nexus Towers are gone. Arc, onto the Nexus they go, and will secure game 1.
Yeah, I mean, the entire Subversive game plan was put onto this Jinx, but when you have Vi and Volibear jumping in on you, there's not much you can actually do in that situation. So, Snowy played the best that he could, but at the end, it was Arc that came out on top.
Yeah, Arc, I mean, they were feeling good about themselves. I do want to highlight Phoenix in the mid lane, 9-0-4 on this Vigar, and he was putting in work for him. The boxes were huge. Most damage on his team, yes. I just had to fact check that real quick, but he did have most damage. Captain Ryu, a close second on that one. But nonetheless, Arc is going to take game 1, and they're feeling good. If they can keep that back up, they're going to try to make this a 2-0 set here. But before that, we're going to have to take a break, go get some water, go hit the bathroom, do what you got to do. But be back here in a few minutes because we're going to get into game 2.
Hello.
ladies and gentlemen. Get out of here. This is my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hopefully you guys were able to watch that game one between Arc and Subversive. We had a battle going out till the end, but Arc was able to take it strong and honestly with pretty good team play and sideway manipulation.
Yeah, I think that was one of the shining lights that we didn't touch on as much as we wanted to, but Captain Rio and Phoenix were definitely pushing out those side lanes like the entire game, and that put so much pressure on Subversive. Whenever they went for something, it was like whenever they were going for those dragons later in the games, those side lanes were always pushed out and they were always in a very bad position.
Yeah, Captain Ryu was really putting in work in that top lane split push and good job to his team. You know, they played the split push well. They didn't get caught in like 4v5 situations. They were able to, not die randomly, especially when, you have all these potential engage tools from Subversive, like the Orin Horn, bandage tosses coming over the top, just anything like that. And good job. Props to our Quake for, standing strong and not inting, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it was a testament to that they didn't fall behind to this Fed jinx, but now we're getting into the draft for game two. We see same sides as last game, and so we see that Lux span off again to start it off.
Yeah, throwing respect to Phoenix, put some respect on his name. He's a Lux beast, also a Viger beast, as he saw from game one. So, maybe you have to keep that in mind here. But so far, the first two bans from each team are going to be the same as they were in game one.
Yeah, we're still seeing the same. Obviously, it seems like Quake is still scared of that Caitlyn more than the Jinx, so they're not even going to ban it. All three bans stay the same. It seems like no one's particularly scared enough of anything right now.
Was this Sejuani ban in game one?
Yeah,
I don't, really?
yeah,
Oh
bans
yeah,
are
it was
exact same.
exact same bans here, and we're gonna see what Subversive wants to go with this first pick. Looks like they're gonna go with the Leona. So want to keep, actually want to take away that potential engage tool from Arc that they had in last game, and it really, put in a lot of work. Rednick was doing the work on it, so it's a solid takeaway from Subversive. And Arc has, you know, their own counter to it with the Alistar, and they want to go back to the Jin.
Yeah, I mean, Jin played well. It was a lot of good ultimates coming out from Audi that just set up the fights well. But then we see the Misfortune in response. I actually really like Misfortune as a champion. I think it should be really strong into this matchup. We do see them go back to the Amumu, and let's see if Arc wants to go for that Vi again.
Yeah, the Vi's open, and 6 foot was able to put pretty solid work in on this champion for the majority of that game. So I definitely would think that it's pretty solid, but it looks like they want to prioritize this Viger pick, and I think that's a really good idea because Phoenix was putting in work on it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely safe, and we saw that even with the opportunity to counterpick by Subversive, it wasn't enough. The Orianna did not do enough to this Veigar to warrant them not just blind picking it again. And even now, they can ban away picks that they're scared of, specifically into that Veigar. It is the repeated TF ban, but we could see them even throw down another mid laner.
Yeah, definitely. And this gives even more help to, Phoenix in the mid lane, able to pick his champion first, get these mid lane bans, champions that he doesn't want to play against out the way. So he doesn't even have to worry about his matchup, but he can feel confident and put on another stellar performance in week one for himself and his team.
I mean, I guess they were kind of scared of the Orianna because we do see that ban away now, but Subversive bans away the other two champions that Arc chose last game. So we're gonna see two new picks from Arc, and we see the Hecarim locked in. I
Ooh.
am a big fan of Hecarim. I think this champion can do a lot, but also it's a lot of that's placed onto the jungler. How much can you farm and simultaneously gank and make sure you stay relevant and stay ahead? And we see the Anivia locked in.
Oh my, we got the bird and the pony and the cow in this game. We got all the animals coming out here. Anivia into Vigar. What do you think about that one?
I think Anivia is really strong right now, and I feel that it can be pretty hard for Veigar to navigate, especially if Anivia throws up that wall behind him. He doesn't have mobility, so if he gets caught by the Q, that's like a solid chunk of his health gone. Now we see the Mordekaiser locked in.
Yeah, and we're gonna get a counter pick in the top lane for Arc Quake here. We'll see what they opt to go for. Um, any predictions on what they go for into this Mordekaiser?
I mean, I think Darius is a strong pick, but then again, I think it feels pretty up into the air. I feel picking a tank can be pretty scary here, just with how much Mord can shred through that with his passive. And they go for the Riven.
Oh my goodness, we got some picks coming out here. Riven in the top lane against this Mordekaiser here, and Captain Ryu, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, Captain Rio is really feeling himself. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Riven, and if I can look at his, it's not even one of his most played champs of last season. So I'm really excited to see how he can perform on this, because this, I mean, it's not the easiest champion, as we all know, but I'm excited for that top lane matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting coming out for this top lane matchup. And we had talked about this previously, that this top lane matchup was going to be a banger. We're going to see now we'll actually see them on champions that aren't just tanks. So we'll get to see some more fighting and we'll get to see more explosiveness. Um, so I'm looking forward to this game a bit more.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we get to see what these two top laners can do. And more so, we can see if Arc is actually just the better team and put a stop to people thinking Subversive could be better. Because this matchup is one that, I mean, we have these two teams are pretty unknown. We want to see which can make a staple, which can make a mark on their on in, you know what I'm saying.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey, first week, the words are coming out a bit slow at first. It's all right. Bear with us. That's just how it goes sometimes. But hopefully, you guys are enjoying the cast here with us. We're enjoying being here back for ZGG. We missed everyone in the off season, man. That's all I can say.
Hmm.
We are now into the champion select. We're locking in the picks, and we'll be able to see, the full team comps round out. We already saw it in the draft, of course, but it's going to be official now, and we'll get to see where talk a little bit more about these lane matchups. There we go. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. And is that, wait, was I looking at the stream correctly? I reloaded, so I accidentally got an ad, but I think you can see the summoner spells on stream? Maybe?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
But also, I don't know how that works because I'm in the same spectator as the stream, so I can't, so.
That's just the power of production, man.
I,
This guy has things that no
he's
one
just
else
insane.
has. This is why this is the best producer that you've ever seen in your life, and we're lucky to have him here. So shout out to him. He made a little mistake on the game score, but we can put that past him because he's got the summoner spells up there for us. So we're all good.
Exactly. What do you think of this? I know you're a bit of a ADC yourself, so what do you
A
think of
bit,
this
yeah,
bot
a
lane
bit.
matchup?
Um,
Did I lose Ryan? Or am I gone? Okay. I'm sure he was saying something important though. But as an also ADC player myself, MF can be very scary in these types of lanes, especially if she's going Dark Harvest. And now with the Gale Force build, she scales up pretty well and can be a team fight monster. So it's definitely, again, something that 6 Foot Max has to look into diving on. But in terms of lane, Miss Fortune should actually be able to put the pressure on this Jhin early. And with the Leona and Alistar, we can see another volatile support matchup. Do I have you back, Ryan?
yeah, we back. Had a little bit of a technical difficulties here, but my producer was here to help me out and get me a new mic right away. So it's all fixed now. But yeah, Miss Fortune is a champion who is super scary if you can get it ahead. I like playing it. I think there's a few different ways you can play it. One way is with the hard engaged support, obviously, like Leona, and I think Leona's a good pick, especially into the Jhin, because, like we said, Jhin is a very immobile champion as well, and he's gonna have to burn that Gale Force to dodge out of the Solar Flare or burn a Flash. Um, but yeah, this Leona able to CC any one target down and basically just let Miss Fortune rip bullet time over the top, and that is a lot of damage if you're able to get it off correctly.
I mean, if we think about it, it's going to be really hard for Quake to fight into these chokes because you have an Anivia and an MF ult that you have to try to walk through.
And a Mumu.
Yeah, it's very scary. There's a lot of zone control coming out from the side of the Subversive, but it's really on the precipice of them to try to do it because we know Captain Ryu is just going to sit in that side lane. He's just going to keep split pushing.
Yeah,
Especially
and
now on the Riven, he doesn't really wanna be there. He knows if he's even or ahead, like, it's hard to stop him.
yeah, that's what I was about to say is that, he's on a champion that he wants to take these 1v1 fights. He wants to, put some highlight reel plays on and that's what hopefully that's what we get to see here. Captain Ryu, put out a pretty big dog performance, not to mention, the rest of his team, but yeah, he was definitely a big factor in getting this win and the sideline pressure that Arc was able to have.
Yeah, exactly. And so we see, I got corrected a little bit in the chat. It was Onus, not Precipice. But yeah, no, I mean, we see Phoenix on the Vagar though, and it's on Tukumis Prime to show that this is the better matchup because Oriana was banned away. So if this is the second tier matchup that you're trying to bring into it, and you don't and you performed worse than how you did last game, then this isn't gonna be good at all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to remember that we had counter picks. So Arc had a counter pick top lane, and Subversive had a counter pick mid lane. So I want to see which of these counter picks is going to perform better in in their respective lanes, because obviously Arc wanted to give more of this prio in the draft toward their top laner. We saw him pop off in game 1, and we also saw that the Subversive mid laner, he didn't do bad. I would say, but Phoenix was able to just take over the game and pop off pretty much. So I'd like to see which of these teams' draft plans is executed better in this game, and I think that'll have a lot to do with whoever obviously takes the series.
Yeah, and I mean, for a second, overlooking the draft as a whole, um, Anivia has like a 55% win rate, so it's still a very scary champion, and it was even more broken in the beginning of the season. But it's still a lot to deal with, especially with how fast your Q is now. Getting off that Q E combo, it's like half the health, and it's fairly easy to hit now.
Yeah, and this Anivia as a champion, it can pop off really hard, or it can get destroyed, and I think that's one of the reasons why their rate is so high is because if you get ahead on this champion, you can just 1v5 the team and you'll one shot everyone, right? But there's obviously a lot of gank potential here with no mobility at all from this Anivia, barring like a flash or something like that. So if Hecarim 6 foot can get in onto this mid lane and put a lot of pressure there, combo that with the box from Vigar, and I think this Anivia is definitely susceptible to a lot of ganks. And I think
Hmm.
that's what 6 foot should be trying to do in this game.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, that's what we kind of said last game with these two lanes being kind of even. But um, Phoenix made his own lead. He got
Yeah,
ahead for himself, and he was able to do it. But now we're into the loading screen, so we can take a look at these stones, and everything looks normal.
yeah.
There's nothing.
We'll double check and make sure that we
Oh yeah,
got the
let's see if
right
he's right.
summoner spells on screen here.
He
Uh,
is correct somehow. I guess, no, he's just crazy. Our
he's built
producer's insane.
different. Physically has a different composition than the rest of us.
But yeah, we
And that's really
see
all I can say.
something. The only thing I can point out is that Hecarim did bring the flash instead of a ghost. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing to look forward to. But now we are hopping into the game.
What are your thoughts on the Ghost versus Flash matchup for Hecarim?
I really like flat. No, I really like ghost on him. I feel that
Yeah.
you can kind of use the ult to supplement the flash most of the time. But now we're into the game. We see Captain Ryu on the Riven top lane, 6 foot Max on the Hecarim in the jungle, Phoenix on the Vagar in the mid, and Jin and Alistar driven by Audie and Rednick in the bot lane for Arc.
Yeah, and first Subversive, we got rolling in the top lane on the Mordekaiser, Rhymes on a Mumu in the jungle, took him his prime on the Anivia in the mid lane, and in the bottom lane we got Snowy and Shadow on MF and Leona, and Phoenix gonna walk in, stick his nose in there and get met with a snowball to the face and a few autos to go along with it. But hey, he got the Warden, and that's really, what you're looking for, especially in this level 1, line of scrimmage, 5v5, 5 point.
And something else I want to see this game is where the early scuttles fall to, because we have Hecarim, I believe, should have the faster clear, especially if they're going for the full clears, but we gonna we're gonna see Hecarim probably. My assumption would be that Hecarim gets that top scuttle again.
Yeah, yeah, I think. If 6 foot, I imagine that 6 foot is going to want to hover around these solo laners because one, you pick the Riven, and Riven is one of these champions that if you get ahead early, it's a done deal. You're running over the boy. You're running over their enemy team.
And we see Redneck using the best skin in the game as the Muka Alistar.
Yeah, we love some cowbell. We need a bit more of it. So Redneck, if you are listening, hopefully you're not though because you're playing. Give us some more of that. We love to see it. But both junglers gonna start on the top side. The bottom side of the map here. 6 foot going for the 2 camp at once. Start trying to maximize time a little bit more, and obviously top lane is just gonna be trading back and forth here between Captain Ryu and Roland, and we'll see which one of these junglers decides to impart their will on one of these lanes first and make the first move.
We see actually Amumu skipping his Krugs this first clear, not going for the absolute full clear, so he will end up on this top side sooner.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of time though before this crab spawns, so it does give 6 foot, time to get his camps done, get his red buff, hit level 3, and then contest at the crab. And I would definitely be scared if I'm Rhymes at this crab here because I do not think you win against Hecarim level 3.
No, especially Hecarim with Conqueror. Instead of running the phase rush, we do see Hecarim running that Conqueror, and that does a lot of damage even early, and it has a lot of healing. So even though you have a Conqueror of your own as Rhymes, I still think it's not something you can deal with.
Yeah, more and more big trades coming in this top lane as Captain Ryu and Roland are just smacking each other down. So far, though, Roland able to get the push on, so that does mean top prio for Subversive when this crab spawns in about 15 seconds. If 6 foot wants to go in, but I would say that this top crab is more focused to Rhymes here. It's more likely that Rhymes will get it.
He's heading to it now. He'll be there on spawn. It looks like 6 foot just decides, you know what, I'll get my Krugs. I'm fine with that. I just want to get as strong as I can. Getting my camps, making sure their timer is reset, and respawning as fast as possible is all I need.
Yeah, and both these junglers, like we said, like we've been saying a lot, have been in the top side of the map for a long time. But I do want to note how the bot lane for Arc has the push in again. I mean, they had the push last game as well, and they're just aggressively harassing this Subversive bot lane. They're just ruthless, and now the wave will push back if they wanted to. And so they maybe set up a freeze or something like that to go in. But Captain Ryu looking for a little bit of damage onto Roland, but the mace hits hard. Now the shield's gonna come out, 3-hit passive flash gonna be burned out. The hook, bringing it back, and Roland gonna secure first blood for Subversive in game 2.
Yeah, Roland's not about to get ran around anymore, but we see a little what.
Wait a minute, 6 foot max is in the 4v1 situation, gonna get stunned up, rooted, but hey, he got the crab. The smite came down just in time to secure it, but wait a minute, but what about the rest of his jungle though? I think Rhymes is probably able to get in there, bandage toss over the Gromp, and then deny a few camps, but hey, you got the crab.
I'm not sure it's worth it that time, but we are seeing...
He's eating crab dinner.
He is eating crab dinner from the grave, but
yeah,
we're seeing Subversive hit hard and hit fast. We see a solo kill in the top lane, and then we see 6 foot Matt caught out on that overextension before the scuttle.
Yeah, and obviously we're still early in this game. It's still only 5 minutes in, but we can already see a CS lead building up for Audi in this bottom lane. Now he's up, a wave and a half. And this is just more of what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, it's surprising to see Audi be so powerful on this and exude so much lane pressure when usually in these early levels he should be lacking a little bit of power, especially compared to Misfortune. But now it looks like he might be getting ganked by Rhymes.
Yeah, Rhymes is definitely on the way here. Zenith Blade not going to land, but what about the bandage toss? Bandage toss going to be wide left, and the slow from Make It Rain not going to be enough to let anything else come through there. As we see, though, 6 foot is on the other side of the map. Maybe going to look for this top lane play here. Captain Ryu is still not level 6, but here we go. Mordekaiser is available, going to bring 6 foot into the Death Realm, and now 6 foot has to run for the hills here, as you do not want to fight Mordekaiser in the Death Realm. The mace is coming down. Captain Ryu is there for when he comes out of the realm, but he does not have the damage to follow it up, and overall, I mean, Roland just able to take that gank and say, yeah, do it again, I dare you.
If Roland had backed before that and spent his gold, because he's sitting on 1.5k gold, he would have been able to kill Hecarim for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. There we go. We see the level 6 coming through, and right away Captain Ryu goes in, dodging out of the mace. There we go. We should get a solo kill here, and that is it right there. But on the other side of the map, Subversive, seeing that the jungler for Arc Quake was on the top side, going to secure Dragon at 6 minutes and, you know, about 28 seconds in this game. And I was just about to say, watch out for this Riven hitting 6 because she's going to go in 100%, try to get this solo kill because you need to snowball on this champion.
Exactly, and that's something we need to. I mean, that's something we expected when we saw this pick locked in. We knew Captain Rio was going to try to want to fight, going to try to want to fight. You know, he's going to fight.
Yeah,
and he did just that. He got the solo kill, and I think a little bit of that falls on Roll In, just being so greedy and not backing for so long. He had the teleport advantage even, so he could have backed with that and just teleported right back. But instead, he stays out on the map and ends up getting felled by Captain Rita.
Yeah, a little over aggression there, you know, maybe not thinking, not aware of the sneaky 6 sort of play that Riven can have in this 1v1 situation. And we're going to see already an Executioner's Calling. First item build for Captain Ryu in this top lane. He is tired of this Mordekaiser healing, and he does not want to deal with it anymore, so he's going to pick up the Grievous Wounds to try to take care of that a little bit.
I mean, and that does negate the purchase of the Leeching Leer from Mordekaiser. That 10% Omnivamp, it's definitely not as effective now. And that Anivia was a disgusting Q hitbox. I did not think that hit.
My, but wait
but
a
now
minute.
Looks like he's getting ganked.
Look at this big flank coming out from 6 foot and Red Nick onto Turgamus here. Flash is available. Onslaught of Shadow is going to fear away. And now the knockup, no pulverize. There it is. Turgamus is going to flash into the cage, but there's really not much you can do here. Egnivia is going to get popped. Do they have the damage to kill it? Maybe. Eventually, at some point. There it is. Ultimate to get in, but now in the top lane, we go back to fighting again into Death Realm. Captain Ryu now has to run for the hills. This is not looking optimal for him. Taking pretty low. A few more mace hits will do it, and Roland's going to slam it down and get another solo kill for himself.
Yeah, Roland performing very well in this Mordekaiser. This is a pick that we saw a lot last split in ZGG. And it's just, he's able to do so much, and it's going to be a pain to stop, because usually when you want to stop the Fed person on the side lane, you just send multiple people, but that doesn't do it against Mordekaiser. It doesn't cut it.
Yeah, and a key thing the key reason in that fight was Captain Ryu's ultimate was not available yet. It just has come up. The Blade of Exile just came up off of cooldown, and Roland, props to him for being able to, you know, recognize that. But now we're gonna see a fight in the bot lane. Zenith Blade gonna land onto Audi, and good job by Red Nick getting Snowy away from his AD carry. Now stun is available, gonna lock up Shadow, and Shadow have to burn the flash and heal to try to get out of there. But our Quake still flexing their muscles regardless.
Yeah, that was a weird timed engage coming out from Subversive, because they hit 6 during that engage. At the beginning, they were not 6, so they did not have the Leona ult or MF ult to throw down on the CC targets.
Cuck came out there, obviously not finding anything. But we do get another fight in the top lane. A 6 foot is here again. The horse is running through. When the bot lane Rhymes making his plays on the other side of the map here. Redneck likely going to go down here, but maybe not, as this Alistar ultimate just gives him so much tankiness and durability and gets rid of all the crowd control. Able to get out of that gank opportunity, but at the cost of Jhin summoners, both of them.
I mean, staying alive at the end of the day is probably what you take, even though it does not feel great burning those sums. But it was good attempt, a good gank attempt from Ryans to be down there. And now he's able to pick up the second scuttle on the bot side just to keep his bot lane a little bit safer, though he may get a little bit of contest from 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot is here. Captain Ryu and Roland are just fighting it up here. Now gonna have to burn the flash to get away. Into the Death Realm they go, as Blade of Exile is there. It has the damage potential, but this big shield's coming up from both sides. Who's gonna win? One more honor should do it for Captain Ryu. He's gonna be able to take the solo kill. He's gonna get one back for himself, and he said, hey, I'm tired of this. All right, when I got my ulti, I'm winning this fight.
Yeah, and the special thing there was Roland actually had his ult at the same time too, so they were both ults available. And yet, Roland, since he lost vision on Captain Ryu while he was walking into the bush, he actually did not have vision, but now we see Redneck again here in the mid lane.
Oh my gosh, they call this the Alley-copter, boys. Red Nick is just roaming like a champion, getting his boy in the mid lane ahead again, and now Phoenix is 2-0 already on this Vigar, and this is just a bit of a rinse and repeat of what we saw from last game.
Yeah, we see Veigar getting fed again. And you don't even have the Fed Jinx to try to supplement you this time. You have the Mordekaiser, which can be very scary for the Veigar. Because he's usually not going to buy that QSS, but the Mordekaiser actually being able to walk onto the Veigar 2 ult is going to be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, definitely. And with that kill on the Subversive mid laner, this is going to be the free Infernal Dragon for our Quake, the second dragon of the game. First for them is going to go down, and we are going to see, again, the Oceans bringing life to the Rift as we're going to get our second potential for an Ocean Soul of this set between these two teams. Rift Herald spawned into the top lane by Rhymes. Going to try to get some more damage onto this tower, try to get Roland just a little bit more ahead than he already is. But Captain Ryu said, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to fight you for it. And ends up not doing too well in that trade.
I think tournament codes are kind of broken. Because I've had this happen to me before. Using tournament codes, if they're the same one, it just keeps the same drag spawn. Because we had Cloud, Infernal, Ocean Soul. And we have Cloud, Infernal, Ocean Soul. So this might be something to look forward to later in the split too, to see if it continues the trend.
Yeah, you know what? That is a good point there. And thank you for pointing that out, because I did not even notice. And I never heard of that. I never heard of that bug either, to be honest. But
I think it just comes from using the same tournament code over and over, which is what's happening in this league. But I don't know. It's something to look forward to as we continue into future weeks, or even, I mean, other games or other sets that are happening this week. But as we see, definitely a little bit of blue posturing around this bot side, just trying to fight over the scuttle once again. Or not.
You know, we're seeing a lot of battling over the Scuttle Crabs, and Scuttle Crab is a very underappreciated camp, I believe, in the jungle. Because this gives you so much gold, so much experience, and it gives you vision and utility in the river for, I don't know how long it is, but a decent amount of time. And, you know, who doesn't want all of those things? Like, they literally, it's like the best of like 4 different worlds, and you get it all for one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think
Rhymes is definitely winning the Scuttle Crab game so far.
Yeah, exactly. I think the time for Scuttle Crab is like 2:15, but that's just the number that I'm recalling in my head. But anyways, we see just a little bit of stabilization across the map now. Nothing to fight for. Dragon's now up for 2 minutes. Rift Herald's now up for a minute. And turret plating is fallen, so now it's just these two teams farming up again. But again, something we need to be wary of is it's Veigar farming up, so he's gonna get a lot stronger, no matter what.
Yeah, and already, just 14 minutes into this game, we're already getting our money's worth for this top lane. As, you know, we've talked about this a bunch already. We're just pounding home the fact that these guys are, you know, the focal points of a lot of these teams, and we're getting to see this matchup between Carry, you know, Riven versus a sort of bruiser style of Mordekaiser, and we got 4 kills in this top lane so far, so...
The funny part is, it seems like on both sides, it's been a little bit of over-aggression and overzealousness that leads them to die.
Mm-hmm.
Just fighting without your ult up and then just not respecting the other person's ult. But we're seeing just a little bit more trades in the mid as we see Rhymes as the bot lane. But 6 foot immediately is on that Rift Herald on spawn.
And another thing that I want to just point out, hold on one second, as we're getting fighting in the mid lane going on here, but the Ignite going to drop down on the Tukumis. He's going to have to run for the hill. He's going to burn the flash to get away. Does not want that egg to get popped. And, because that would, you know, certainly mean death, especially with that Vigar ultimate still available. But, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. I was pointing out how Hecarim is taking the Rift Herald and should get that now without much contest. Yeah, no, he has it now. And so that's another... Well, that's another time that we see Mumu on the bot side of the map and Hecarim immediately going for a camp.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that these junglers have done a really good job of, you know, seeing that the enemy jungler was on one side and getting things on the other side. And that's really something that you don't see too much. I think that is a skill in the junglers that goes often underappreciated. You know, being able to see and notice when opportunities to secure objectives are, and I think that it's been really it's been done really successfully in this set so far.
And we're seeing the dragon spawn in about 30 seconds now. We see Captain Rio taking the back, so he'll be as strong as he possibly can for this fight. He has the teleport coming up, but that's also matched by roll in. And so we see the side of Arc taking the back now, trying to reset before it, and it doesn't look like they're going to be, or Subversive is going to be in position to take it as it spawns, so they'll have time to get back to this dragon.
Yeah, really, no one is in the area at all right now. There's like no vision at all set up around it. All is the scuttle crab and then the one arc ward like over the wall, which Anivia is gonna clear out right now. Wait, is it a blue ward? Yeah, it's a blue ward. That's what I thought. So Anivia is gonna just clear it right now, and then we're back to just zero vision on either side. And now the teams they've made their way over there, and they're gonna start setting up the vision now. But we see pink wards coming out, vision denial, and already Roland's gonna burn this TP to try to get into the fight and turn the favors for his team.
And I'm trying to look at, we see now Captain Rio responding with the teleport into the pit.
Wait a minute, but look at the stun on Turkomis. He's taking really low. He's gonna go down. Egg Nivea will be popped. He is available now. Onto the backlines we go as the jungle are fighting down. Turkomis is gonna fall solo from the top. Bullet time is pretty big. That's a lot of damage coming out. And Kirsten Sidewalm is going to stun up a few people and a lot of low health bars here, but it looks like Subversive is doing well for themselves. But on the backside, Phoenix and Audi are not done. They're going to get a kill back for themselves, and they're going to be able to secure the dragon too with that Jhin 4th shot. And that's just a really good job by Audi, being able to having the mindset to say, okay, I have 4 shot, let me secure this dragon. And that's going to be the second dragon of the game for them, but still a 2 for 3 in favor of Subversive. However, Arc does get the dragon off of that play.
Yeah, I mean, always you take the dragon at the end of the day, and even if you're losing a kill because of that, but at that fight, we saw just how powerful Roll-In is. He was able to ult Hecarim, and then Hecarim obviously was not able to smite, and he was able to just nearly one-shot Hecarim. He did end up flashing over the wall to save his life for a little bit, but this Mordekaiser does so much damage, and he's really a tear in these fights, and it's really hard to deal with him. Luckily, Phoenix and Audi were mostly untouched because they were out of the pit, so they didn't take the brunt of that MF ult. So they were able to still put in work while the rest of their team was trying to deal with the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, that MF ult, Snowy was putting in work, able to flash over the wall, reposition, and get a giant bullet time onto the whole 3 front line of Arc, and just demolish them, the health bars there.
And we just seen Roland in both of these games, he's been really good in these team fights, while it seems like it's Captain Ryu that shines in these side lanes.
Yeah, and that's not to say that Roland is not
bad at
well
the other things.
Yeah, like Roland has gotten solo kills. They're both doing really well for themselves, and and that's why we highlighted this matchup so much, really.
And again, pointing out again that these teams are trying to pick up their first win, and already, if you are Subversive, you're down 1-0, or 0-1. That's not really where you want to be, but with where you are in this game, you still have strong pieces to put together, and you still have things that you can do. You just need to keep a level head and stay calm and try to do what you can. But something.
Yeah, the goalie's only 1K too, so this is a very minimal disadvantage that Subversive is playing out right now.
Something else I wanted to point out that I think you might be interested in is that MF decides to go the Eclipse over the Gale Force.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think Gale Force got nerfed. So Gale Force got nerfed really hard this patch. The active cooldown went to 90 seconds instead of 60. I think they dropped some damage on it as well. So I think I'm expecting to see a lot more of the Eclipse rise ups, but 6foot might be in trouble here as he's gonna good usage of the Onslaught of Shadows to get out of that Mordekaiser ultimate channel there, as the Unstoppable will not let him go into the Death Realm, and that was really solid timing from here. But now Shadow might be looking for a Solar Flare, not gonna find it as Audi is just a bit too fast for him.
Yeah, and that wasn't even just to like stop the channel. Like the Death Realm actually went on full cooldown, which is huge for Captain Rio in that top lane.
Oh, in the mid lane plays coming out here. 6 foot is charged at. Tukumis having to burn the flash to get away. And, you know, this is what I was talking about earlier. The vulnerability of this Anivia in the mid lane.
Especially when you have Helicopter in the bot lane.
Yeah, Rednick is putting in the works here. But now the flash forward knockback onto Shadowfax, and you are in the middle of 3 members, and the curtain call is flying. Jin is
Flying,
calling
why?
the
But flying.
Jin is calling the curtains in. Shadow is going to go down here, but now we're getting another fight in the top lane here. Both ultimates are ready. Exile. Blade of Exile is in. Death Realm is not available, and Captain Ryu is looking to be getting the, you know, better end of this one so far, and he's going to get another solo kill for himself now, turning the tides of this lane in his favor. But now into the bottom lane we go, as we're going to have a 3v3 coming out here. Bandage Toss going to land onto Rednick, and Snowy is running him down, shooting him with some water balloons. Not enough damage to get anything happening, but Tukumis was there just in case anything happened, and we saw 6 foot trying to look for a flank.
Again, this could be now Phoenix getting called out, but Snowy has to be careful, and rightfully so.
Yeah, wait a minute. Phoenix is just sticking his nose in a place that he shouldn't be. What are you doing, buddy? That's going to be a huge shutdown on going over to Snowy. That's a 750 gold shutdown in the pockets. He said, let me hold that, and hold that he did. But now the teleport's coming in from roll in into the death realm, goes 6 foot, and this is not an optimal position if you're the Hecarim. Burning the flash to try to get out. Onslaught of Shadows. Oh my goodness, a little bit of a fancy footwork going on there, bud.
But now you have nothing for this fight.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? You have to give the dragon now, as all of your cooldowns on your jungler have just been burned. Good job by Roland getting the early TP and being able to force out 6 foot anywhere near this dragon pit.
But that play even goes further back to Phoenix. The misstep he made around mid and overstaying. Because of that, his team had to end up giving the dragon.
Yeah, these little plays build up, and they snowball into, you know, eventual big plays. And we just saw the dragon going over there as pretty much a play that could have been easily avoided, but now into mid lane we go, as Roland's gonna have to burn the flash to get out. Nivea is available, but not yet popping out. Riven is on the flank. Flash forward, double knockup, curtain call. Here it comes. Tukumis gonna go into egg form. Just get one shot out of the egg. Did
he even go into egg? What the heck? He died so fast.
He actually just got one shot in the egg. Captain Ryu said, I'm eating scrambled eggs for dinner. But now Roland is trying to get some action for himself here. He's taking pretty low, and that's really not where you want to be, bud.
No. And we see, yeah, that was a really good flame coming out from Captain Ryu, and able to capitalize on the overextension by Tukumis and Roland.
Yeah, definitely. With 4 members strong, well, 3 members now strong for Arc in this mid lane, you know, they're getting this pressure onto the inner towers. Captain Ryu just backed. He's going to collect his bottom wave for himself. And if we're looking at the CS numbers across the board here, we see something that, you know, I'm flashing back to last game, and I'm seeing a similar thing, is that this jungle CS number, 6 foot, has been farming way more efficiently than Rhymes here. And now Rhymes has 5 kill participation to his name. 6 foot has 3, obviously, but 6 foot is also up 36 CS. So that's 9 whole camps over Rhymes, and we're seeing that gold, you know, that's about 1,000 gold lead for himself right there. Just individually, but between junglers.
Yeah, it's really impressive that 6 foot is able to farm so well, and even in these fights, like, it's really hard for him to navigate these fights because he does just get mortalted, and then he has to just try to run away, so he can't really participate. Because Riven, I think, is still kind of scary for a roll in, that he still can lose that 1v1, so he needs to just be cautious in who he chooses.
Yeah, this Riven is still definitely scary. I mean, we've seen Captain Ryu able to, you know, get the solo kills onto Roland a few times. So he's definitely got to be careful, but I want to see 6 foot pick up a QSS. I think especially when you're a jungler against a Mordekaiser, this QSS is so important because Mordekaiser's always going to be going for you around these major objectives. And if you're able to get that QSS, then obviously, you know, it's not a very favorable, it's not like super favorable in favor of the other team anyway. But now we're gonna fight Death Realm in. Roland is taking a lot of Phoenix into the Death Realm, but I don't know if he wins this. He does not. Phoenix able to get the kill, but not before he goes down as well, and this is a 4 for 4 now in favor. Oh my gosh, took him his channeled recall or teleport right in front of the Alistar's face, but now Solo's level top, onslaught of shadows, bullet time. Oh, the 3 and the curse of the sad mummy. Oh my gosh, a huge team fight from Subversive wipes all of Arc. And Captain Ryu is left in the side lanes pushing onto this inhibitor tower, and will there be anyone to stop him? No, Arc is just going to continue down mid lane, and they're going to give up an inhib tower and potentially even an inhib for this.
Yeah, Captain Rio just stuck to his guns. His team was fighting, but he was not. He had no intent of teleporting in. He had teleported that whole time, but he was very content with just farming. And now it looks like Subversive is starting up the Baron.
Onto the Baron they go, and this is a 3-person attempt, 9k health left on it. Now we're gonna see the Captain Ryu TP coming in. Blade of Exile is available, and this is gonna be it. Onto Snowy he goes. And that's pretty much just gonna be a one-shot right after the way. Oh, he turns his eyes to Shadow. He's gonna take Shadow down instead, but now the health bars are pretty low as Rhymes is just smacking him down. He does have this Sunfire cape. Captain Ryu is not done yet though. He's going. He's getting these auto attacks. He's getting the empowered auto attacks going. He's gonna get the heal out of Snowy as well as the flash, and Captain Ryu does a good 1v3 and gets him off of Baron, and now for his team, they're going to be right on it.
I got scared for Captain Ryu there. He was tanking Baron and almost fell down, but he survived, and it looks like they're going to get the Baron, and they should be able to just rotate right afterwards to Dragon. Though it might be a little bit scary because we see Subversive getting out onto the board and getting to that Baron, or to that Dragon as it spawns.
Yeah, I would likely just expect, you know...
This is the sole point that you're giving up, here. Oh, there's not doing it.
Yeah, they hesitated too much, but Arc was just not in a position. Their health bars were a bit lower. They had just taken the Dragon. Yeah, okay, you can give up the third Dragon for Subversive, but it's okay. You know, you're in an advantageous position, right? You can fight for the next one, and you have no issues fighting for the next one. So I think it's okay. I'm just taking the Baron, getting Captain Ryu in this top lane, getting another tower for himself, and you know, end up still coming on ahead on top.
He still is not backed from before he got that bot inhib turret.
Oh my lord, 4,000 gold.
He's up. He has 4,000 gold.
Please, Captain Ryu, back. Holy moly. Oh, wait a minute. 6-foot man is walking into a bush with a lot of people now. Flashing forward from Red Nick onto Snowy. He's going to go down. Shutdown goes over to Audi now on the top side, though. Top laners are fighting it back again. Captain Ryu is going to come out on top yet again of this 1v1. And Roland, you need to stop trying to fight him. You're not going to win anymore.
Especially when he backs. This guy's sitting on 4.5k gold. Nobody can stop him.
He still lost the 1v1 and he has 4k in the bank. Oh my, but now the rest of the team is coming after him, but he's just gonna hop his way out of there, and he's gonna get out a 600 gold shutdown to his name if anyone can claim it, but it doesn't look like it so far. The rest of his team onto the mid inhib.
We see all 3 lanes being pushed in by Subversive. They keep playing this map. They keep playing these side lanes very effectively. Their solo laners are very good at getting over there and pushing these waves.
Yeah, they're still pushing. That's 2 inhibs down for Subversive, and they're definitely sitting on the back foot here, down 7,000 gold. And I'm still waiting for Captain Ryu to back. This does certainly seem like one of those overextension plays where you just throw the whole game. You know, but...
I think even then, it's still going to be pretty hard with how much gold this Riven has. He's backing now. No, he's not backing yet. When he backs, he'll have over 5,000 gold.
More camps to take, more gold.
Yeah, of course, more gold to get. But now Subversive finally, Captain Ryu finally backs. He'll be able to get 2 full items.
Eyes on this buy, eyes on this buy. Eclipse?
Finishes the Eclipse, and he's shopping, guys. Give him some time. He's figuring out what to get.
He's thinking.
Probably could get like a Black Cleaver, a Death Stance, a Starax, any of the above. A Celdra.
Oh
okay.
What are your thoughts on this item? I don't really see it built too much. The Celdra, it's called Celdra's Grudge.
Yeah, it's the non-crit armor pen item, and I feel like I don't know. I feel that for Riven at this point, since she is so far ahead, it makes sense to get it. But in a typical game, if you're not that far ahead, I just suggest getting the Black Cleaver. So then you're setting up the rest of your team too, because it is, as being the Riven, like you're in there hitting all those people 6 times, but it's just a little bit of, it's the more greedy option to get. But I mean, Captain Ryu deserves that. He's so fed. He is he is 3,000 gold over his lane opponent. It takes at least 2 people to stop him.
Yeah, Captain Ryu got his champion. He wanted to play the Riven. He got, this big lead accrued from it. And I like I said in pregame, 6 foot. He's got to get up in this top lane and try to swing this top lane matchup in favor of his team, and he did. He executed that pretty well, just like we had said.
I mean, I feel that a lot of it falls in with just how bloody that top lane was. These top laners just had at it. They were not scared of fighting at all. And so you just see them trying to shove in lanes. They don't have Baron anymore, but they're still pushing all 3 lanes, pressuring in with 2 waves of super minions, and they're just waiting out for this dragon that's spawning in a minute.
Yeah, ideally you want to get this 3rd inhib here, and you can see that the whole Subversive team is just ignoring Riven for the time being. Now Anivia is finally going to go over there to, try to clear this wave out. But I'm pretty sure that Captain Ryu can just 1v1, or he's going to go for a Blade of Exiles popped, and yikes, man.
I don't know, though.
Yikes.
Anivia might be able to live.
Yikes. Captain Ryu gets a just absolute one-shot through the egg.
Didn't even have to burn flash.
Tuckerman stood no chance at all, but this dragon is going to be spawning in less than 30 seconds here. Captain Ryu able to secure that 3rd inhib for his team, and now 2 double waves of supers. 2 supers from each wave here, and Roland's going to take 6 foot into the Death Realm. Going to try and survive it out. 6 foot seems to be okay for the time being. Flash forward claw from Roland, but the Onslaught of Shadows is going to get 6 foot to safety here, and that was a pretty aggressive play there. I can understand, I think Roland was thinking, okay, maybe if I can get this kill, they can't hit the dragon, or they are going to be less likely to hit the dragon, or something like that. But burning the flash and the ultimate to get nothing does feel pretty darn bad.
See, so now both teams are sitting at soul points, but this is just a free rotation for Arc over to the Baron, and that should spell the end of the game. With double super minions pushing in every lane, this is going to be very hard to deal with.
Yeah, a free Baron, like you said, and I'm going to expect Arc to take this Baron. They're going to reset, buy their items. Captain Ryu is at 2,100 gold again in the inventory. This man just does not want to buy. He loves having gold in his pockets. He's a flexer. And you know what? I can't blame him. He's putting in the work this game.
If he could, he would change his recall for another aggressive ability.
I mean, yeah, I've done that a few times. Why back when you can get more kills?
It looks like they're even too scared to collapse on him because they know his team is right by the Baron, so they're all gonna back now. Sitting on 2.5k gold, and this is very doomed for Subversive, but I don't want to throw it all out. Subversive still did put up very good gains.
Yeah, 7k gold lead in favor of Arc right now.
Doesn't look great now, but
it does not look great now, but crazier things have happened, and all it takes really is just a well-executed team fight. I mean,
yeah, exactly. We saw it happen to the Dragon.
Misfortune is huge right now. So he's putting in the works. Up 20 CS. It matters a bit less at this point, but regardless, he has 3.5 items. He's matching up with Jin. And we're just going to see Arc try to take this lane now, take the push. They're going to push these lanes, try to collapse all the waves at once onto the base, and try to spread Subversive thin in their own base.
Exactly, and we know this is what Arc is good at doing. They're good at playing these side lanes, as we have seen, and it's going to be very hard, if anything, for Subversive to do something. Best chance is for them to go on one of the 3 branches and hope that the other branch can't rotate fast enough, but even then, it's still a very hard look.
Yeah, I mean, it seems really hard, but anything is possible. Look at this
That was
damage from
one
Phoenix.
Q.
Phoenix 1Q onto a roll in and just takes him half health. Flash forward. Gotta put him in the box now.
Ooh,
Into the death realm they
somehow that
go.
didn't
And
kill.
Phoenix
W.
is living. Gonna
Let's
drop the
go.
W on him now. Phoenix versus Shadow in the 1v1 situation, but Leona's gonna smack him in the face with his shield and get to able to finish off that kill there.
That's still a very big pick.
Yeah, this is
I mean,
definitely a
it's a
winnable
trade
fight.
kill, but
Curse the side mummy onto 6 foot, but Redneck is in the back with Captain Ryu. Snowy is basically dead. He's out of the fight. This is the winning fight. It is a massacre in favor of Arc with the last member, Shadow, going down. My game froze.
yep, the game is frozen.
The game has frozen indeed. But it is looking like
I think, you know, guys, I'm gonna
Quake
call it. I think
is
Arc won.
looking like our Quake is gonna take game 2 and the series in a best of 2. Best of 3, sorry.
Yeah, but they clean it out in 2 games. I don't know why it's frozen.
Production? How are we doing?
He's also frozen. Oh, Arc.
Don't you have the magic powers? Can't you fix it? Okay, he's not happy with me. It's okay.
Arc.
Either way, I mean, we can talk about it now. We can talk about it. Go ahead.
Arc put in a good. Arc was very strong today. I mean, we see from this game alone that even as a new team on the block, their strengths are their side laners. Phoenix and Captain Ryu, or rather their solo laners. Phoenix and Captain Ryu are very strong. And even though we only saw one pick from Phoenix, like we know his Lux is something to be scary of, so I'm sure he has other picks that he's scary on too, besides the Veigar. But
Yeah, the solo laners for Arc just pulled up and they were ready. They were ready for action. And the top lane, Captain Rio did not disappoint.
no,
That man was putting in work in the side lanes, and that's why we highlighted the matchup so much. Phoenix, of course, drawing out the Lux bans, able to get this Veigar twice in a row. I'm really surprised that they gave him Veigar again.
mm-hmm.
But they gave him Veigar, and obviously he made him pay. So please, ban Veigar against this man. He can do work with it.
Mm-hmm. And we were putting on a lot of hype on Roland at the beginning of the game, but I don't want to undermine the power of Subversive's bot lane. They were very strong.
For sure. Subversive's bot lane was doing well too. I mean, Rednick and Audi don't even get it twisted. Like they were doing solid the whole game.
I was talking about Subversive's bot lane.
Oh, sorry, Subversive.
Snowy Faye and Shadow. They put in work, even being on the losing end of those 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Subversive bot lane was great too. I mean, we can see like Snowy was the one bright spot for the team at this point. Like he was the win con. Unfortunately, I mean, it's really hard to do anything as a misfortune when you have Hecarim, Alistar, and Ribbon diving on your face. But like,
yeah, in both of these games, he was on an immobile ADC and into a lot of dive coming out from Arc. So it's very hard to deal with. But even all things considered, he played well for what he was able to do, which wasn't much.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, it was a solid matchup week 1, and I'm super hyped. We got to see it. Arc, Quake, taking it in 2-0 fashion, commanding, I would say. I mean, pretty big leads in both games here. And that's going to do it for us today for week 1 of Zero Gravity Gaming in the IBS division. I've been Rychains, joined by Michael. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast and have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next week. Not us, but come back for the new guys in town, Colonel and Huey, to cast the next week's IBS game. So have a good week. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Goodbye.